So I think we're good to go. Uh, Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, everyone who's tuning up. I'm assuming a lot of us students are joining in from MBA KFA program. So some of you might not be from KFA, so welcome to you all as well. And thank you so much for streaming in, for joining in actually. So as a program, I'd say we'll be discussing about highlights of the budgets, those that are especially relevant to our MBA graduates or people, students who are currently studying in MBA. So we'll not be going into economy very detail. I'd like to keep this session as short as possible. Middle slides are open. I've kept them very brief, and we'll devote a chunk of the program for Q&A sessions. So we'll start by a slide presentation here. Let me just get the slides ready. So yeah, 2078-79 budget, how MBA graduates should see the budget. Of course, not only graduates, it's for students as well. I'm CA Mujal Malanda, Chartered Accountant qualified from the Nepalese Board Chartered Accountants, and I'm currently working as the Head of Finance and Head of Corporate Advisory at Himalayan Capital. Some of you may know as your professional contributor, some of you might not. I'm currently also associated with KFA College. So let's move on. So as MBA students, you should always be prepared and updated with the budget. Not only the budget, but also the different policies that are enacted by the government of Nepal. It'll business life, personal life, every aspect of your life, affect your records. So you budget ma 7879 budget ma, if you look closely, then the main point that is being addressed is the COVID pandemic situation. What kind of relief are being provided to everyone? So considering the economic slowdown due to the pandemic, government has tried to encourage businesses and especially young entrepreneurs to either start the business or help existing businesses. So Ismail, the editor, will be looking at two special points. One is financial support, and next is tax exemptions. So moving on, first part is financial assistance. And Isma pani hamro first ma say let's talk about startups. So startups are it has becomes kind of a buzzword, I guess. So startups are generally businesses, ventures, however you want to call them, projects. Those who have transformative idea, unique product or services, and the potential to become a game changer. So what startups are really normally going to do, they solve a meaningful problem in the society that has existed. Your problem, but it could be a problem that has been continuing for ages, or it could be a new problem, but the solution is always new and it's a game changer. So Isma say normally the Sano team but a startup. So generally, it's either a one person leading the whole team or a group of people who's coming together with common passion. This is a startup from the ground up build back. So it's not normally startups, so they face any problems. That is the lack of funding. First of all, it started by a small group of people or a single person. So the first thing that they have to do is overcome the lack of funding to grow. To grow their target market. So need to they have to grow. But isko lagi चाहिँ हाम्रो दुईटा channels on medium one. One is banks, which is the traditional source of funding, and another is venture capitalists. A bank cases say it's media money, which loan traditional sources of funding. But case bank case you have to business plan or strongly history the sources of income genuine. Plus the main thing is collateral. The thing that is coming in the way, obstacle as a startups again. Bank places startup like funding they do not have much collateral. Younger aspiring entrepreneurs they start with so collateral problem only normally banks are funding but they venture capitalists they're funding the startups more. Startups case you can see startups like Business Oxygen or Doma Impact Fund. Especially Himalayan Capital is also about to enter the venture capital group as a manager. The venture capitalists, so the case you'll be exchanging equity stake on your venture उहाँहरूले चाहिँ equity stake लिएर तपाईलाई not only funding कि venture cap normally हाम्रो startups के देखिरहेको छ भने people who are very passionate about their business, they know what problem they're solving, they know entirely mastermind, they're mastermind of the entire venture, but they do not have एकदमै business savvy. So even if they have a very good business model, they have a very good way to solve the problem, but they do not have a very good business model. How to generate profits, how to manage people, with the management savvy, venture capitalists, what they do is they come in, they, take some of your equity stake, board representation, they also help you in managing the company. So venture capitalists case is this to borrow. So we keep banks cases not straightforward. We just give you money, you're expected to pay something back as interest and your installments, and they give you the money. The पहिलाको केसमा चाहिँ collateral, it's always coming right now. अहिलेको budget चाहिँ के गर्दैछ भने venture capitalistको लागि त्यो venture आफू नै collateral हुन्छ. So 1% interest rate सम्म 25 लाख सम्मको venture seed capital चाहिँ उहाँहरूले provide गर्नुपर्ने एउटा provision चाहिएको छ. यो चाहिँ भर्खरै startup funding को move on to the slide. Loan against educational qualification. This is something that we've previously as before. And this is अर्कै टर्म युज गर्थ्यो प्रोफेसनल लोन गर्थ्यो होइन. It's like different professions, doctors, CAs, engineers, उहाँहरूलाई दिइराकै हुन्थ्यो 15 लाखसम्मको लोन डिफ्रेन्ट ब्याङ्क्सहरूले दिइराको हुन्थ्यो होइन. अब यसको केसमा चाहिँ अब अहिले चाहिँ के भयो भने एजुकेसनल क्वालिफिकेसन ब्याचलर्स डिग्रीसम्म इफ लोन अगेन्स्ट यो एजुकेसन क्वालिफिकेसन 5% इन्ट्रेस्टमा तपाईँलाई 25 लाखसम्मको लोन दिने अलिक प्रोभिजन आएको छ होइन. अब यसको केसमा चाहिँ लेट्स नट एक्सपेक्ट कि यु गो इन्टु अ ब्याङ्क ब्याचलर्स डिग्री लिएर अनि जस्ट यु गो टु द क्रेडिट डिपार्टमेन्ट अनि उहाँले भन्नेबित्तिकै तपाईँलाई 25 लाख दिनुहुन्छ भनेर लेट्स नट ह्याभ द्याट एक्सपेक्टेसन होइन. किनकि ब्याङ्क्स देयर अल्सो रनिङ अ बिजनेस होइन. उहाँहरूले पनि आफ्नो रिस्क मिनिमाइज गर्न खोज्नुहुन्छ उहाँको पोर्टफोलियोको होइन, क्रेडिट पोर्टफोलियोको. सो देयर गोना लुक इन्टु you need to have a purpose of why you're taking the loan. तपाईँको अल्टरनेटिभ सेकेन्डरी सोर्सेस छ भने that's something that तपाईँको कसैको पर्सनल ग्यारेन्टीहरू. सो हाम्रो ट्रेडिसनली ब्याङ्कले जसरी लोन एनालाइज गर्छ नि, सो द्याट्स अलवेज गोना बी देयर. तपाईँको खालि के कुरा हुने हो भने तपाईँको कोलाटरल चाहिँ तपाईँको एजुकेसनल डिग्री हुनु, तपाईँको ब्याचलर्सको डिग्री भयो होइन. बट ब्याङ्कले नर्मली जस्तै बिजनेस लोनहरू analyze goals, or credit analysis is going to be, that's always going to be there. So you need to have a purpose. Let's say I'm a professional loan or let's say you want higher studies, not about the age program, whether you're facing a medical difficulty at the family members, medical expenses they borrow, you have to face that, or let's say the carbon only borrow. This to you could use that to bank product paper on such different. But banks, I've talked to some of the bankers in my from this as well, they've not yet prepared what kind of purposes of the loan that they'll be addressing. This has just come on the budget to the now the bank will extensively work on the start to research. So different banks might have different types of purposes of the loan that they will be aiming to fulfill. So it's like the purpose of the loan say normally our Nepal government young entrepreneurs fund there's going to be purpose of the loan. If you're starting a business, starting a venture, that's the most favorable kind of purpose that you can have. But similarly, you would have to have a supporting business plan. What are you going to do? What business are you going to do? What assets? How are you going to manage the business? What's the profitability going to look like? So that's always going to be there. Business plan or failures. There's income, personal guarantee. Those are the things that will be there. So moving on to the next one. Alternative education loans, laptops, another thing that many students were looking forward to. And especially your pandemic case, online learning has been a big assistance for them, especially about mobiles and laptops, virtual classes. Even this session we're attending through virtual media, for example, phones. So it's the case saying your laptops, your phones, laptops. Years payable 1% interest rate 80,000 some of the funding so you can have maximum of 80,000 value to laptop It could be, if it's less, then you'll get less, of course. 80,000 amount, of course, 80,000 some of the mother funding money boy. So 1 year's at one person at 2 years, 80,000 that comes out to around like 3,300 rupees per month for EMI. That's right. I mean, is to facility or we've seen previously all banks are but all banks are like mobile and laptop or त्यस्तो खालको पोर्टफोलियो ल्याइराख्नु भएको थियो होइन इट्स जस्ट द्याट योपालि चाहिँ अलिक एक्सप्लिसिटली भयो पहिला चाहिँ अलिक लिमिटेड नम्बर अफ ब्याङ्क्सहरू गरेको थियो यस्तोहरू होइन एन्ड हाउ दे युज टु डु इज तपाईँको एउटा क्रेडिट कार्ड उहाँहरूले किन्नुहुन्थ्यो क्रेडिट कार्ड इस्यु गरेर त्यसको अन्डरमा चाहिँ युड ह्याभ टु गेट द कोटेसन फ्रम द सप्लायर द भेन्डर जो चाहिँ तपाईँले जोसँग चाहिँ ल्यापटप किन्नु लाग्नु भएको छ उहाँसँग कोटेसन ल्याउनु पर्यो त्यो कोटेसन ब्याङ्कलाई दिनु पर्यो अनि त्यसपछि हाम्रो जुन क्रेडिट कार्ड प्रोसेस हुन्छ तपाईँको इन्कम स्क्रिनिङदेखि लिएर तपाईँको ब्याङ्कको स्टेटमेन्टहरू सबै भेरिफाई गर्नुदेखि लिएर त्यो त सबै नै भइहाल्छ होला जस्तो लाग्छ होइन र त्यो कोटेसनको बेसिसमा उहाँहरूले चाहिँ सिधै भेन्डरलाई पेमेन्ट गरेर तपाईँसँग चाहिँ त्यो क्रेडिट कार्डमा मन्थली इएमआई कलेक्ट गर्नुहुन्छ सो दिस इज लाइक भेरी फिजिबल होइन 80,000 एट 1% इज अ भेरी गुड रेट एन्ड ब्याङ्क्सहरू पनि आई थिङ्क टु गिभ दिस आउट as much as possible. And so, yeah, this will be a lot helpful to people who are in families of like because online sessions or online studying is becoming ubiquitous. So, yeah, that's going to help a lot of families. The other thing is, let's do a bit of a case scenario, case study about electronic vehicles. So, cases now. How budget changes or maybe fiscal policy or the changes because we have the business opportunities also. Let's take for example electronic vehicles at least study prior to the budget announcement excise duty 30 to 80% depending on what kilowatt per battery so customs duties are 60% right out with electronic vehicles like illegal that's electronic vehicles practical solutions on that luxury pricing luxury products it was going already to area affluent high income families are not afford products luxuries and they limited market flat 0% of the business customs duty at a reasonable rate of 10%. You changes are electronic vehicles at a reasonable pricing. So this is more of a practical solution rather than being a luxury good. Compulsion of official distributor. So अस्तिसम्म जब चाहिँ पहिला हुन त पहिला पनि हाम्रो एक्साइज र कस्टम्सको फेसिलिटिजहरु त पहिला पनि दिइरहेको थियो जबकि लास्ट बजेटले चाहिँ यसलाई बढाएर एक्साइज ड्युटी र कस्टम्स ड्युटी बढाइदिएको थियो यसले गर्दा चाहिँ त्यो भेन्डर्स जो हुनुहुन्थ्यो इलेक्ट्रोनिक भेहिकल्सहरुमा डिल गर्ने मान्छेहरु डिस्ट्रिब्युटर्सहरु उहाँहरुलाई चाहिँ अलिकति मर्का परेको थियो सो उहाँहरुको प्रफिटहरु चाहिँ एकदमै डाउन भएको थियो अब अलिकति luxury goods sales were जस्तो भइरहेको थियो उहाँहरुलाई सेल्सहरु पनि एकदमै डाउन थियो हैन जबकि अब when the excise and customs duty have gone down it has become more viable for customers to buy electronic vehicles so त्यहाँ एउटा business opportunity create भयो because of the changes in the financial policy अर्को एउटा पनि के भने चाहिँ compulsion of official distributor छ हैन जबकि लास्ट इयर सम्म चाहिँ तपाईले यतिकै ल्याउन सक्नुहुन्थ्यो कि without you being an official distributor or maker of the electronic vehicle, you could just bring the गाडी तपाईले यतिकै लिएर आउनुहुन्थ्यो जबकि यो पालि it's a compulsion that you must so if you are not let's not go into directly into Tesla, let's go into other brands and just electronic vehicles are produced on the back. So there's open up the business opportunities. I'm really sorry. Already, like my issue about this. So sorry. So yeah, there's open up a business avenue right now. Since the electronic vehicles, since the cost or it's been more affordable for customers. This for market access to and there is a business gap there where you can now obtain official distribution and you can now see electronic vehicles at a reasonable price to a possibly larger market. So this is the kind of business opportunities out there. कतिवटा अरू सामानहरुमा पनि हाम्रो कस्टम्सदेखि लिएर एक्साइजदेखि लिएर एक्सपोर्ट इन्सेन्टिभ्सहरु एकदम घटाएको बढाएको जस्तो कुराहरु छ त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ हाम्रो कतिवटा बिजनेसहरु चाहिँ मोर प्रफिटेबल or some businessलाई चाहिँ adverse effect परेर अरू बिजनेसहरुलाई चाहिँ more profitable हुने situation पनि छ हैन. So these are the things that you should be looking at. Moving forward to the next slide. So the next part of our presentation would be tax exemptions, part B. As a tax exemption matter, the government has provided the following exemption to existing businesses to provide relief in the view of the ongoing lockdown. So existing business so let's say relief provide let's say let's say for example transaction 20 lakhs transaction buffer or 2 lakh annual income buffer, let's say 90% rebate take. So if the तपाईले जति ट्याक्स दिनुपर्ने हो त्यसमा तपाईले 10% मात्र ट्याक्स दिने भयो हैन. यो अनि 50 lakhs भन्दा कम ट्रान्ज्याक्सन भएको लाइक 75 lakhs 75% र 1 crore सम्मको लाइक 50% भन्ने छ. सो दिस इज अ किनकि अहिलेको प्यान्डेमिकको केसमा लकडाउनहरु भएकोले कतिवटा बिजनेसहरुको राम्रो रेभेन्यू जेनेरेट भइरहेको भएको छैन, कतिजनाले राम्रो अर्न गर्न सक्नुभएको भएको छैन. त्यसको केसमा चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्टहरुले चाहिँ ट्याक्स एक्सेम्पसन गर्न खोजेको हो हैन. स्पेशली हाम्रो बिजनेसेसहरु जुन चाहिँ ट्याक्स कोरोना इफेक्टेड भएको बिजनेसहरु छ हैन, उहाँहरुलाई चाहिँ 1% ट्याक्स मात्र भनेर भनेको छ. यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो होटल्स, ट्रेकिङ एजेन्सीजहरु, सिनेमा थिएटर्सहरु, एयर फ्लाइट ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन बिजनेसहरु र पार्टी प्यालेसेसहरुको केसमा चाहिँ इट्स जस्ट 1% ट्याक्स भनेर गभर्नमेन्टले अनाउन्स गरेको छ हैन. Moving on, yeah, I think we'll come to the end of the session. But isma aru Q&A haru cha bhane, please feel free to ask in the comment section. I'll be addressing your comments. Thank you so much. Well, we are receiving some questions. VAT cases, government purchases fees maintain you have to get it verified. This case पहिला चाहिँ पेट्रोल र डिजलको चाहिँ भ्याट क्लेम गर्न पाउँदैन थियो, अब चाहिँ भ्याटको त्यो क्लेम गर्न मिल्ने भएको छ हैन. अनि अरु कतिवटा सामानमा पनि यो भ्याट एक्जेम्पसनको ड्युटी स्कोपमा ल्याएको छ त्यसलाई हैन. इफ यु लेट्स नट गो इन्टु त्यति धेरै डिटेल यसमा नजाउँ हैन. वी आर नट गोइङ टु भेरी मच डिटेल अन दैट. यसको लागि अर्को क्वेसन आएको छ, what about the government plan for installing 50 charging stations with collaborating of EV exporting companies? What should we know on that? So government, let's say, it has brought upon some very creative ideas, or the ambitious, creative भन्दा नि ambitious ideas, I would rather say, किनकि if you're converting your petrol र diesel based vehicles लाई इलेक्ट्रोनिकमा गर्नुभयो भने त्यसलाई 5 इयर्ससम्म चाहिँ यो एनुअल ट्याक्स, रोड ट्याक्सहरू के पनि नलाग्ने भन्ने प्रोभिजनहरू पनि ल्याएको छ। सिमिलरली आई थिङ्क 2088सम्म चाहिँ पुरै इलेक्ट्रोनिक पेट्रोल भेहिकललाई डिस्प्लेस गरेर पुरै इलेक्ट्रोनिक भेहिकलले गर्ने भनेको छ होइन। अब इट डिपेन्ड्स अपन द इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन कि अब हाउ मच इज द्याट पोसिबल होइन, किनकि अहिले पनि हेर्नुभयो भने गभर्मेन्ट आफै एजेन्सीले कतिवटा इलेक्ट्रोनिक भेहिकल्सहरू युज गरिरहेको छ होइन। यु क्यान गो बाई द्याट नम्बर होइन, अब कतिको इम्प्लिमेन्ट हुन्छ त्यो त इट रिमेन्स टु बी सिन। अफकोर्स इट्स अ भेरी नाइस incentivized way to दिएको छ। Let's just hope कि this will continue and government will bring more and more tax subsidy अनि अरू subsidy पनि ल्याउँछ होला इलेक्ट्रोनिक भेहिकल्सलाई इन्करेज गर्नको लागि। Apart from this, any changes in the income tax slabs or any incentives for employed groups भन्ने भन्नुभएको छ होइन। अब यसमा हाम्रो इन्सेन्टिभ चेन्जेसहरू चाहिँ हाम्रो इन्स्टिट्युसन्सहरूलाई नै अलिकति प्रायोरिटी दिनुभएको छ होइन। स्पेसली स्पेसल इन्डस्ट्रिजहरूको लागि तपाईँको पहिला 20% हुन्थ्यो भने अहिले 10%मा सिफ्ट गरेको छ त्यसलाई होइन। अब अघि नै पनि हामीले कुरा गरिहाल्यौँ 1% अफ ट्याक्स टु द अफेक्टेड एन्टिटिज होइन। तर अहिले यो पर्सनल ट्याक्सेसनको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रो फ्यु चेन्जेसहरू आएको छ होइन। जब कि पहिला चाहिँ तपाईँले लाइफ इन्सुरेन्स पोलिसीहरू लाइफ इन्सुरेन्सको मात्रै क्लेम गर्न पाउनुहुन्थ्यो भने अहिले प्राइभेट रेजिडेन्सको 5,000सम्मको चाहिँ तपाईँले यदि इन्सुरेन्स गर्नुभएको छ भने त्यो पनि क्लेम गर्न पाउनुहुन्छ होइन। बट स्ल्याब्स, टकिङ अबाउट स्ल्याब्स देमसेल्भ्स, स्ल्याब्समा चाहिँ केही चेन्ज भएको छैन होइन। सो या द्याट्स द थिङ। So if there are any other questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. सो अहिलेको बजेटमा चाहिँ धेरैवटा इन्ट्रेस्टिङ थिङ्सहरू आएको छ होइन। अब चाहिँ तपाईँको डोमेस्टिक टुरिज्मलाई प्रमोट गर्नलाई गभर्मेन्ट इम्प्लोइजहरूलाई चाहिँ 10 डेजको स्यालेरी बराबरको स्यालेरी दिएर अनि त्यसको पनि लिभ दिएर गभर्मेन्ट अफिसियल्सहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो डोमेस्टिक टुरिज्म प्रमोट गर्नको लागि त्यो पनि गरेको छ होइन। बिकज द टुरिज्म इन्डस्ट्री इज द मोस्ट एफेक्टेड अहिलेको लागि कोभिड पेन्डेमिकले गर्दाखेरि होइन। त्यस्तो त्यस्तो फेसिलिटिजहरू पनि ल्याएको छ। सिमिलरली 16 इयर्स एन्ड अबभको हाम्रो इन्डिभिजुअल्सहरूलाई फ्रीमा सिम कार्ड दिने त्यस्तो के भन्छ प्लान्सहरू पनि ल्याउनु भएको छ। द्याट्स काइन्ड अफ इनोभेटिभ नै छ अहिलेको बजेटहरू होइन। Will the deficit budget not uplift current inflation to a greater extent भनेर सोध्नुभएको छ श्रेयसी खड्काजीले होइन। अब अहिलेको केसमा अलिकति तपाईँको इकोनोमी डाउन नै छ होइन। तपाईँको पब्लिक एक्सपेन्डिचरदेखि लिएर इम्प्लोइमेन्ट अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू पनि त्यसलाई इफेक्ट गरेको छ होइन। अब यस्तो केसमा अ लट अफ पिपल हेभ लस्ट देयर जब्स है। a lot of people have lost their jobs. अलिकति इन्कम इकोनोमिकली थाम्न बुझिरहेको छैन होइन. सो कतिवटा केसेसमा तपाईँको इन्डस्ट्रिजहरू हेर्नुभयो भने द्याट बिन ब्याडली एफेक्टेड होइन. एउटा दुइटा केसेसमा लेट्स से क्यापिटल मार्केट्सहरू भयो, त्यो बाहेकको अरू अरू केसेसहरूमा चाहिँ इट्स बिन भेरी ब्याडली हिट होइन. अब यस्तो केसेसमा चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टले इम्प्लोइमेन्ट अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू बढी क्रिएट गर्नलाई पब्लिक एक्सपेन्डिचर चाहिँ अलिकति गर्न खोजेको नै हो, सो द इकोनोमी डजन्ट गो इन्टु रिसेसन होइन. अब अहिलेको केसेसमा चाहिँ लेट्स से इन्फ्लेसन भन्दा पनि गभर्मेन्टलाई चाहिँ रिसेसनकै बढी फियर भएकोले त्यस्तो खालको बजेट आएको छ होइन. लेट्स से तपाईँको पिएम एम्प्लोइमेन्ट प्रोग्रामले पनि एम्प्लोइमेन्ट अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू क्रिएट गर्नेदेखि लिएर तपाईँको स्टार्टअप्सहरू फन्डिङदेखि लिएर अरू कुरामा हेर्नुभयो भने गभर्मेन्टले चाहिँ एक्सपेन्डिचरमा बढी फोकस गरेको छ होइन. स्पेसली यस्तो केसमा अब गभर्मेन्टले चाहिँ धेरै ठाउँबाट फन्डिङ पाइरहेको छ, वर्ल्ड ब्याङ्कदेखि लिएर एसियन डेभलपमेन्ट ब्याङ्कदेखि लिएर होइन. अब यस्तो केसेसहरूमा चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने यो चाहिँ सबै लोन भयो नि त होइन. दिस इज समथिङ द्याट वी हेभ टु पे ब्याक होइन. जबकि हाम्रो इन्टरनली जेनेरेटेड जुन रेभेन्युजहरू हुन्छ त्यसमा चाहिँ बढी फोकस गर्नुपर्ने जस्तो देखिन्छ होइन, रादर देन रिलाइङ अन फरेन डेट होइन. ग्रान्ट्सहरू युटिलाइज गर्नु इट्स अ डिफरेन्ट थिङ होइन. तर इन्टरनेसनल डेट्सहरू युटिलाइज गर्दा चाहिँ वी हेभ टु बी मोर केयरफुल द्याट दिज आर बिङ युटिलाइज एट एकदमै प्रोडक्टिभ सेक्टरमा युटिलाइज भएको छ कि छैन होइन. किनकि तपाईँको ग्रान्ट्स obviously financial debts you have to pay back. So currently when they're utilizing the foreign systems in the form of international debts, then you have to be very careful कि होइन डेट आयो हामीले यसलाई रिलिफ मेजरको लागि मात्रै युज गर्ने भनेर पैसा बाँड्दै हिँड्यो भने that could be a very adverse that could have a very adverse effect on the long term. त्यसले गर्दा त्यो जुन पैसा आइरहेको छ त्यो चाहिँ एकदम प्रोडक्टिभ सेक्टरमा गएको छ कि छैन भने चाहिँ it's a role of the government to ensure that that's happening. Thank you so much for your questions. So yeah, if there's no other questions, I think we can wrap this up. The short session because all these statistics will read for you. You can study all of the resources or if you're one of my students, then of course you can ask me class night money. I'll go into much more detail there, or you can always message me in the messenger. Rates or confusions for you, budget provisions for confusion one. You can always put me in messenger as well, or in the class itself. I think we can conclude here. Anji, I think we can wrap up this session. And I would like to thank you the entire team. Technically पछाडि support back office support गरिराख्नु भएको छ र हाम्रो management team for putting this program together. Jasmine ma'am, Sami ma'am especially. Thank you so much. And have a nice day. Thank you so much.